Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Golf Talk Radio. My name is Billy Gibbs. That guy over there on the helm is Mike Bravenich. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
And the other side of the headphones is Hop. Good morning, Hop. How are you?
Good morning. I am just peachy keen.
Very cool. We are on the central coast of California. Hop is in Bakersfield. It is rainy. It's one of those rare rainstorms that we have here, so it's kind of cool. Makes driving here a little more interesting, but it was very cool. It's cool to have the rain, so I hope the people in this area are enjoying the much-needed rain. I know I am. I know you. Well, you're a golf. You're a golf operator.
I don't mind the rain. I just don't like how it's so many days in a row.
Oh, we need it, buddy.
I know.
Fill up them reservoirs, man.
The perfect world, it rains at night, right?
Yeah, quarter inch every night.
Yeah.
Every little bit every night.
Exactly.
Joining us once again is our own Dr. Ryan McGowie. He's the wellness specialist and the doctor of chiropractic medicine, a good friend of the show, and he's been Mike's personal doctor for many, many years. He's done amazing things with Mike, because I remember looking at Mike a couple, 3 years ago. Whew. And now you are glowing over there, buddy.
Oh, I'm glowing. I'm looking.
You're moving.
All right.
But anyways, Dr. Ryan, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Really glad you're back.
Yeah,
It's
awesome to have you.
always
Me too. I love hanging out with you guys.
Well, it's great having you here. Your expertise, your knowledge, and your wit, and your bedside manner, and which a lot of doctors don't have. Yours is awesome.
Well, thank you.
And so I'm just glad that you're here. Your family well?
Everyone is doing well. They are. We've passed the colds around since Thanksgiving.
Are you done?
They're doing. Yeah, they're all done now.
All right, man. Because we're sitting pretty close here in the office. So.
Well, it was with the kids. We got
Anyways.
3 under 4. So
Doc has a lot of props today, so I'm very interested in seeing what that's all about.
Yeah, he brings the most interesting things to the show. We're also one of the reasons he's here. We're going to talk about golf injuries and the weather. And Mike brought it up yesterday, and you hear this all the time, that there's people that walk in and say, "Oh, my knee's hurting, it's going to rain." Or can the injuries really dictate the weather, predict the weather? And did a lot of research myself. I'll ask the doc about that. Because you hear it all the time, "Oh, my knee, it's going to rain," So we'll find out more about that. Also, allergies affecting your game. I mean, it's allergy season, and a lot of people I know are suffering from that. What can we do to help you, not only off the course, but on the course itself? I'm going to ask him a little bit about the CBD that's going. I want to say the word is cannabis oil, but I don't know how to say it correctly. It's a chemical extracted from the cannabis plant. How do you say that word?
just like you said it.
Okay.
Wow, look at you, Mr. Gibbs. You're a doctor.
Just isn't spelled that way. So it's an interesting, and it's an extract from marijuana plant, and there's a lot of tour players that are using it. It's now, since it's off the list of banned substances. Thank you.
Yes.
And Scotty McCarron is endorsing it. Champion Tour player, former PGA Tour winner. And we're going to talk to him what he knows about it. And as I know, it's more holistic, and if it's something that he promotes, or I know he's knowledgeable about it. So it's going to be, we're going to talk about a little pot around here today. Did you bring something? The oil.
No.
Did you bring any of the oil? Did you?
No oil. No oil.
We're also going to have some discussions of different topics that none of these guys know about. Mike has some. I might have some. We're going balls out, and the doctor's he's gonna go balls out on us.
This segment has become very, very popular. Very popular.
Yeah,
I got to say, after having the wives in last week,
it's so funny that it is. It's so good,
Yeah.
and all the people who guess what ball it is. It's pretty neat. And I went and even looked. I play the Titleist Pro V, and I had to look at what all the stuff was in case you try to trick me, because I had no idea that.
in case I try to trick you?
Well, if somebody read the description of all that ball, I could figure it out. I wouldn't before.
You wouldn't be able to before.
Nah. So I think Doc brought a joke with him too. So joking around, Doc's going to be busy today. So
Doc's going to town. I love it.
So we often start the show with a nice BM in the morning, and this show is no exception. So Mike, what's up with do you have a M part of the BM?
I do. I just want to say, and I didn't mention it because we had the wives in last week. I mentioned 2 weeks ago that the NFL football playoffs, the divisional or conference championships, would be amazing, and they were absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing football games. And Ryan used to be you were a football player, right?
Yes, uh-huh.
Did you watch any of them?
I did.
Was that your actual knee that you brought in and later out from football injury?
I didn't have any injury.
Thank goodness for that.
Oh, you were a kicker, huh? Sorry.
But something that I think was really interesting is the Rams Saints game, and I know this is old news, but the pass interference call that was never called, and everybody's upset. But my tie-in is, doesn't that happen in golf too with bad bounces and pin placements by you get that a lot where they go, oh, superintendent's put the pin in the wrong place.
You get bad bounces, that's part of the game, but bad calls, a third person coming in and ruining your play doesn't happen too often.
No, but I'm saying, I guess my point is human interaction is part of the game.
Human error.
Human error. Yeah, it is interaction and error. And it is. And there were a lot of errors in that game.
But it's funny, some plays can be reviewed, some can't. It just seems like, and I don't know how that works, as I'm not, but if any play could have been reviewed, that would have been pretty obvious, right? Wasn't that one reviewed when there's other ones that are? And so there's guidelines of which can and which can't.
Yeah.
And I don't know, so maybe that should be reviewed, because that was game-changing call, man.
Here's kind of where I'm going with this whole thing is you've got golf that just introduced new rules in 2019 to speed up the game. And now you've got football and baseball putting instant replay in, and you can feel, I don't know if you guys feel it. I feel it, and I understand why they want to do it, but I can feel it. You're losing the momentum of the moments of the games, and so like, even though, and I agree, that was a pass interference call, 100%. It was pass interference, no doubt about it. But think of all the games before those games where calls were blown and things were blown, and they're all part of history. They're all part of sport. They're part of sports history.
Either have challenges or don't have challenges.
I know, but think of how many challenges you could have for pass interference.
That's right. So don't have
in a game in football. I mean, it would go on and on and on. I was at my. I give
they're
another
only
example.
allowed so many.
Right?
They're limited.
They'd be limited,
and I think it makes more fairness, because there could be a ref that's not an honest person. That could have a bet on a game that's going to make some calls.
Right.
So I think that was one of the original reasons. Let's do some instant replay. Plus, they have the technology to do that.
Right.
But I think that's one of the reasons, because baseball, and there's players that they can pull a game one way or another.
Yeah.
So now the refs can't.
I don't know, but do you really think? And I know I'm bouncing around, but do you really think that if that ref had a bet on that game or something, would he do it at that moment? He's not going to make that call at that moment.
I bet he's not reffing the Super Bowl.
No, well, he actually, you know what?
I don't know that, but
one of the refs that was actually on that crew for the Los Angeles New Orleans game, he blew a call for the Rams several years earlier, and the LA fans tried to get him off of the ref crew with Los Angeles and New Orleans.
I could see blowing a call, but how come? I know that some interferences are challenged. Why was it?
You can't.
So that's interferences you can't.
You can't challenge a pass interference.
But you can if you have control of the ball. You can count a check, right?
No,
you can challenge a catch. You can't.
You can challenge a catch, but you can't challenge a subjective call, because it's just like a call about defensive holding or offensive holding or things like that. They're all subjective calls that the referees throw when they feel that the rule has been violated. You can't challenge that.
Okay, but you can a catch, which they often do, or if it was a fumble, or if they had control of the ball before they went down,
or if they want to challenge the spot of a ball, like where it actually, where the player actually stopped or went out of bounds. Yes,
which that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, that's pretty factual.
That makes sense to me, because I didn't understand why are some things challenged and why aren't others. So some things that's up to the referee at that time.
Right.
And so that it is. So he made a mistake. They do. Maybe didn't see it. Right.
Yeah. It was in front of him. He just didn't call it. I mean, it was pretty blatant. But I guess I saw the replay.
My
whole point with this, and I know it went all over the board. It's just amazing to me how many of these things can tie in together. You've got one sport in golf that's trying to speed things up. You've got football that's trying to do instant replay. You got baseball that's trying to come up with the times, and they're trying to make things more relevant. Because the game moves too slow. There's all these different things, and then you think about like a game, like the games 2 weeks ago, that were absolutely phenomenal, and there were different opportunities and blown calls and all that stuff. And my point is, that's all part of the game.
Part of the game.
It's all part of the experience, which leads to the great game tomorrow, the Super Bowl. Which, even though it's going to be raining, Super Bowl's tomorrow. I love playoff football, and I love the Super Bowl. It's just awesome, man.
You're here.
It's just got such a feel to it.
Let me ask you, and
man.
I'll end it on this. At that point, could they have a huddle, and there's a challenge, but it's not video replayed? But the other referees that are around, could they have a huddle and all discuss?
They do that.
Did you see something I didn't say? They do it in baseball.
They do that in football
right?
too.
So could they have done it then? Say, hey, I threw this. I didn't see anything so well, but did anybody else see something here? Because there's a challenge on the sideline. Is that permissible in that sport?
Yes.
They could have done that?
And I don't know what they.
They do it. They do it a lot of times. You see this happen in football all the time, where the refs will throw a flag and they'll say, "Oh, there's a flag on the play," and then 2 or 3 of them are standing there discussing it, and then the ref will come up, click on his mic, and say, "We're picking up the flag. There's no penalty on the play."
But could they do it vice versa? There was no flag on the play, but could have the coach for the other team or something challenge and then ask the people, anybody else see this?
That's up to the refs. Once again, those are subjective calls.
Yeah, just like
and
Hop
bad
said.
calls. Like I said, bad calls are part of the whole thing. I'm a Raider fan, and I could list for you the tuck rule or the immaculate reception or any number of things. And there were calls in that game that were a little questionable too. There was a face mask that didn't get called earlier in the game. There was some holding calls that were questionable too, but they're subjective calls, and these are just part of what we have to deal with as fans. I empathize, I sympathize, but you're never going to make it a perfect game, and human error is going to be part of it. It hurts, it sucks, but it's just part of what
just
it
like
is.
golf.
Yeah, and yesterday
man.
at the Phoenix Open, they penalized that guy 2 shots because his caddy was standing behind him when he lined up.
Yeah,
that's a new rule. Did you see that? And but he walked away, and then even the player walked away and reset up. But they still called it for him because only in the putting green can a player can walk away. But so he finished, got 2-shot penalty. I don't know if he made the cut or not. But they showed the caddy standing there while he lined up. Right, he's hitting wedge onto the green or something. Did you see it?
I didn't see that one. I saw the one from a week ago where it cost the guy $90,000.
Yeah,
$90,000 because his caddy was in the line. Of the
this was yesterday, and he went into the scoring tent, and they informed him a 2-shot penalty. Showed him the video, but he walked away.
But that could be
caddy
subjective
walked
too.
away, and so did the player after that, and he realigned. But I said on approach shots or tee shots, the caddy can't help him at all at any time.
Yeah,
on the putting green they can, but they have to walk away, and the player has to walk away too. So it's interesting because it's just a brand new rule,
and that could be subjective
and it's a bummer
too,
for this guy, because he's probably the LPGA was known for doing that, right. Their caddies were always behind their players, a lot of them, not all of them, but and so there's a few tour players that do that, and it's tough to you're in your mode, man. That's what you do. So that's unfortunate as well. It could have been nice. Then there should be a warning. Hey, this is a new rule.
They should have
be aware of this.
They should have what was the Family Feud. So when a caddy gets too close to the line,
so there's your.
And they're like, oh, I can't go there. I can't go there. The big red X comes up on the screen as you're watching the TV. That would be pretty.
That's 2 strikes, man. Let's go. You can do this.
Or like Operation.
100 referees were polled. They're touching the edge. You used to play that game, huh, Doc?
I did.
I know. Well, it's a good point, Mike, and it is part of the game, and I think people get used to it. And replay was never part of the game, right? So it's starting to be. So there's
one other area, and I'll be really quick with the other area of this whole thing that's still interesting to me is it was part of the game. It's a bad call. The Saints still had 2 chances. They had a chance to win, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Breeze just threw the ball up in the air, tried to make it didn't work out. I mean, that's the story. If you're a sports fan of any of your teams, at some point your team has blown it. Whether it's on themselves or whether it's on a ref or whatever. That's like Hop said. It's all part of the sport. It's all part of the game.
Absolutely. If you don't want to depend on your game being made on a bad call, play better football.
Yeah.
And I mean,
exactly.
that sounds cold, but that's kind of the nature of the beast.
It is. It totally is. So that's my BM.
Well, I'm glad. That's a nice BM, and I'm glad you're not passionate about this at all.
And I'm glad you're an Oakland fan with that
answer. Well, I got a quick one too. I'll squirt it right out here fast, man. So, this weather's not going to rain on my parade or my party. The First Tee of Central Coast is the chapter I'm the program director of. And for the last 8 or 9 years, we've been one of the most highly acclaimed chapters in the network of about 140, 150 chapters. And we've never really celebrated our success. We've acknowledged it, going, hey, great job, everybody. Let's keep up the good work. But we're one of few chapters that ever reached ACE level. ACE level is the highest level you can get, and there's a scorecard and all, from board governance to programming to coaching to participant numbers and diversity and all. There's all kinds of checks and balances with that. And to become ACE is almost impossible. For example, I think 2 might have been in the last year. 2 or 3.
That's awesome.
And so we decided we should throw a celebration party for people involved: the board, the volunteers, the coaches, and the staff. So today we're having that party, and we're scheduled indoor outdoor with some horseshoes and bocce tournaments going.
Can I conference call into that?
We can have you on the big screen.
Okay,
we'll get you on the big screen. It'll be awesome.
FaceTime.
We'll FaceTime.
Okay.
You, man. So
I can see people walking around eating snacks.
We decided we're going to bring a poker table inside. We ordered one so we can. But there's about 30, 40 of us coming in and having a nice celebration. And it's no work, no meeting. We've had many meetings. We're saying, hey, good job, man. You guys rock. Next bullet. And it's never really been a good pat on the back. And I'm a big believer you've got to to really show appreciation. We've had coaches that have not left in tenure. We never had a coach leave yet, except for Mike's not showing up to the party. So there's your first scratch. So
I knew that was coming.
But so I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to play ping pong and darts, and there's a reflection area, and we're also going to play tribute. And could we be listened live right now?
Can we what?
Could this be? Yeah, we're gonna have a special moment in the party today to share with everybody. So I can't share with it because it could be listened to right now. So
yeah.
So anyways, it's gonna be a good day. So that's what's happening, and congratulations to the Central Coast First Tee.
Yes.
And then after that, tomorrow morning, while you guys are getting ready for football, I'm driving to Palm Springs for 3 days, and I'm gonna play into the Indian Wells. I'm gonna play the real private course of the rich and famous in Palm Springs. I'm gonna play. Well, as far as my knee will let me play.
Yeah.
And see a buddy whose family show horses. They're going to be a nice little horse show.
Nice.
And my wife's going to play hooky. I hope her principal is listening. She's playing hooky from school.
Ouch.
Because she deserves it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm going to do.
Very cool.
Off to Palm Springs, people.
Well, good BM. We're going to take our first break.
Nothing better.
Check out the latest from TaylorMade Golf.
Healthy.
Yep. The M5, M6 drivers, fairway woods, hybrids, irons, and also the Gapper. Check it out at TaylorMadeGolf.com, who sponsor Golf Talk Radio with Mike Billy. We'll be right back. Stay with us.